Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Specrapular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit. Mostly shit. If you are a regular listener, you may have noticed we have changed our tagline. It used to be, we talk about movies that we think we will like. And that's stupid. So we have now changed it to...
You really have to discuss it for everybody?
Gotta let them know. For those regular people, they're going to notice. And
how many letters would you have gotten?
I would have had at least
handwritten letters.
I would have had at least one email,
notarized,
but like 6 months from now. But yes, we are a podcast that talks about movies and shit.
To whom it may concern.
And today
something was amiss.
We are reviewing the movie Gremlins, and I am one of your hosts, Brandon, and I've of course joined by my best friend, Mike.
Yay.
You heard him talking a moment ago. Usually he keeps it down before I introduce him, but today he thought he'd be a little rambunctious.
I'm coming in hot.
Yeah. But we are talking about the movie Gremlins. So, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that movie?
Well, I don't know if you mentioned it. This is the third film in our holiday
You're right.
Specrapular.
Yes, it's our Christmas Specrapular.
Yeah.
And this is episode 3 of 4. And so only one more week left, and next week is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So, Mike, why don't you tell us about Gremlins and don't interrupt me ever again. Actually, how are you doing, Mike, before you read that?
I'm doing all right. A little gassy.
Yeah?
But, I'll make it through.
Okay.
If you hear any rumbles in the background, definitely wasn't me.
ASMR for belly guts rumbling?
It was a bus and or a bomb.
Okay. Either one of those, I'll have to decide with my nose. Yeah. So, yes, tell us about Gremlins.
So, Gremlins came out in 1984, directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus.
Home Alone, Chris Columbus?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. That's what I thought,
Harry
too,
Potter fame and all that shit.
when I saw the name, and I thought, hey, I should look that up, and I didn't. Because I figured you'd have a little more insight on that.
Yeah. So, let's see, a little synopsis here. A young man inadvertently breaks 3 important rules concerning his new pet and unleashes a horde of malevolently mischievous monsters on a small town. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it on the first day.
You know what's really fun? Knowing how to read. Although I think I would have fucked that word up too.
Malevolently.
Yeah.
So produced by Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy.
Which blew my mind when I saw Steven Spielberg come up on the screen. Not in necessarily a bad way, but just in a way that I didn't anticipate that.
I don't remember seeing like the Amblin logo on there. Did you remember seeing that?
I didn't see that.
Okay, maybe it was before that he started.
This has to be before.
The first movie.
Yeah, because he had done ET before this. Yeah. And
did he?
That's something we probably should have looked up.
Well, Raiders was in 81.
Okay.
Doom was in 84 with this, like
Raiders.
a month before. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
E.T. may have been like 83 or something like that.
So that's a year prior. I wasn't born yet when this movie came out. You were not either.
Correct.
And
I might have been in the womb.
You might have been a thought in your a twinkle in your dad's eye.
No. Because this is like a year before I was born. So
okay,
I was almost.
You were potentially thought about.
Yeah.
But your brother and your sister were
swimming around.
Yeah.
Armless.
Yeah.
Just tails.
Just twirling around in your dad's sack.
That's how sperms sing when they're in the.
I assume they're just going like. Because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. This movie, when it began, though, it takes place in some Chinatown, and I wrote down here Chinatown 2, more China, and
it was like a super Chinatown.
Very, very.
Because it didn't look like a big city with a small Chinatown,
right?
Which doesn't make sense because it seems like the movie is set in a small town. But small towns don't have Chinatowns.
Well, the dad was a traveling salesman.
Oh, so he was at the.
So he was somewhere. Yeah, he was somewhere. Because when he came back home, because this was like assumably days later, or at least the next day, I guess.
Yeah.
And he brought
he's not even a traveling salesman. He's a traveling inventor with bullshit.
Failed inventor.
Failed.
And, I wouldn't even say failed because he had these like. Don't get me wrong. The devices didn't work, not the way they were supposed to, but like. He was creative. He was doing it. It's just they weren't good. And
well, if we're already getting into it, like, did he have to be an inventor for the movie?
Not. He did not.
He could have just been a salesman. He could have just been John Candy in
He's a Cutco salesman. He could just go door to door and just selling shit. Yeah, or even in what's the one with the Coens where he was Was that Barton Fink? Wasn't he a salesman in Barton Fink or something like that?
I believe Barton Fink is a writer.
I thought Barton Fink was the writer. I thought Goodman was the salesman.
I don't remember.
Wow. I thought you knew the Coen brothers well.
I know he like runs down the hall shooting guns
Yeah,
or something. Right
and there's a fire. Yeah.
It's been years.
It has been a long time. So this movie, though, so he's a traveling inventor salesman. He's not good at it.
Inventorsman.
Inventorsman. He's
Sale vendor.
But he.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, thank you. So he's following some random child that I don't know where this kid came from. They'll be like, "Hey, Mister, come with me. Let me show you my grandpa's place to buy things."
Well, I'm assuming there are like, because this is Spielberg's movie, or he's a producer. So it's like, you know what? We had a kid in Temple of Doom,
right?
So and he, that thing went gangbusters.
Not only did that go gangbusters, but that kid was totally token, like Mr. Jones, like super fucking just. Kind of racist, really, for its time.
I mean, that's literally one of the notes I have on this movie.
Yeah,
a little racist.
I have that note here too. It's probably 3 down because the fucking grandpa's clearly smoking opium of some sort, and
it's a den.
Yeah, it's literally a den. And then he says dragon breath,
and then
it goes like gung, and then he goes bad breath, and I was like, okay. So these movies that we've chosen to watch as of late, borderline for their time, not so good anymore. But
well, I mean, the biggest one is the neighbor, Mr. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, the foreign cars.
Darn.
Yeah,
immigrants coming into our country.
The note I have, it says racist neighbor, because granted he's saying, oh, those damn foreign cars, they don't know what they're and like just really bashing on essentially kind of immigrant sort.
Well, that's kind of the whole push, or the thing that people who take advantage of people in that situation, like they lose their job, and then like some politician will take it like, well, you know why you lost your job? Those damn foreigners coming in here taking it.
Yeah.
So in that regard, if that character is like making a statement, then that makes sense. Then that's because that's literally exactly what, because she said he lost his job, right?
You find that out later when.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like that's.
Yeah.
It's kind of a broad character development, but like, okay, that's who he is. He's the guy who lost his job, and
that clicking noise that you hear is Mike. It's because you're so animated when you're moving the cable for your thingy that it's hitting this.
Oh.
I can do this. I can move this. Yeah. To scooch it. There you go. See? So we didn't talk about the actors really quick, because I was going to say when Phoebe Cates is talking to the lead guy, I don't know his
So lead guy, Zach Galligan.
Okay.
Galligan. He's Billy.
Okay. Phoebe Cates is Kate.
Phoebe Cates is Kate.
Yeah. And then
Billy is the son of traveling sales guy, and I didn't get his name because I'm a terrible host.
And then Corey Feldman, really young Corey Feldman. This is almost Stand By Me Corey Feldman, and he didn't have a big part in this movie.
I was just gonna say, like, not really in the movie.
No, because he wasn't known
necessary.
Then. Yeah, but Phoebe Cates though,
now I don't remember if this is before Goonies or not.
I thought Goonies was like 88, but I can absolutely be wrong. I thought Goonies came out after I was born, but I mean, obviously, it's as if we don't have a computer at our fingertips that we can always look things up. But Phoebe Cates,
I prefer making people angry as they're listening,
because they can answer the question.
Like, it's fucking 1986, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking how hard is it?
I was talking to
only because that's exactly what I do.
Sure. I was talking to a friend earlier this week, and she was saying that when she listens to us, that she wants to talk to us, because we'll say things that she knows the answer to or something like that, but she can't, and you never will. Anyway, Phoebe Cates though, I told Mike this earlier.
Brenda? Yeah, we're talking to you.
Yeah, Phoebe Cates. I didn't know that was her in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but when looking at her, I've always had a slight crush on her, because one of the first movies I saw of her was Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah,
and I never fully saw Fast Times. I've seen clips.
It's been a long time since I saw that.
Drop Dead. I haven't. It's been a long time for me too. And the less I remember of it, I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, Phoebe Cates. Yeah, but she looks really fucking cute in this.
Adorable.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah. Like she just had even her teeth. Like
wait, she's not actually 17 when she filmed this, right? We probably should have.
That's a good question.
Some research there.
You
know what, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and check this out.
Like, it's not weird.
All right, she's 20. Woo!
See, there we go. Dodge the bullet.
Man, she's like so fine, boy.
But the thing about her. The thing about her, though, that I think she seems a little quirky, but also, even though she didn't talk a lot in the movie, really, but when she would smile, her teeth weren't, like, perfect. They had, like, a slight, like, they...
Really? You're gonna
well, no, I just say, I don't mean this in, like, a fucking weird way. I'm just saying...
Guys, if you're on your brand name pointing out flaws in women drinking game, Go and take your first fucking shot. Jesus Christ, man.
Please do.
You couldn't.
Please.
You just
It's
had
not
to-
an imperfection. It's not a negative thing that I'm saying. I like the way her smile is. Anyhow.
I'd like to say, guys, trust me, he's a good guy. Mm-hmm. But I'm not.
Yeah. You could say many great things about me, but I won't. So the racism was a little
on the nose.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, that's what they're going for. Like he's the guy, but they didn't show like a news report of him watching. Going, it's like, oh, damn, wait, did they?
Well, when his fucking antenna wasn't working, he's like, we should have got a Zenith, and like he didn't actually say what they had. He's like, those damn foreigners don't know how to make it, whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! But then there's so much death in this
he's
movie.
Almost like a proto conspirator.
Kinda, yeah, because he's saying there's gremlins, there's gremlins in our cars, and all the
parts are putting in,
yeah.
So like that's this time, and then if this was 30 years later, he'd be like, oh, it's microphones placed by the Chinese.
It'd be the vaccination getting 5G
Yeah.
and QAnon like a leader.
Sucks.
Yeah, and somehow partially a Proud Boy. There was I said this a moment ago, but you had said over it. But there was a lot of death, really, if you think about it. So not only is that like that professor, that teacher guy, the first death, but his death to me was also kind of like perplexing because the gremlin was biting his hand. And then when you see him next, there's a plunger, like a syringe in his butt. And I was like, well, what actually killed him? Like, what was in the plunger? Like, we just assume that it was air, because obviously you don't want air in your blood. But I didn't like that because it was biting his hand, and then now, so how did it get behind him to get on his butt if it was biting his hand and the thing was under the desk?
Well, he might have been like, oh man, oh God, and then it went around, and I don't know.
I don't like it. So this whole movie is now flawed, and I hate it. So, but to go back in order, because I skipped ahead a little bit. So this little guy, this little creature that cannot get wet, cannot be in a lot of light, and also you cannot feed after midnight. Those are the 3 core rules of
Which really, shouldn't there be a time window that he can't eat, like after 12?
Yeah, because how does he know what time zone he's in? Now he's in Pacific Standard, so he's now inside his head. There's a fucking thing. But you go to Chicago, now that's 2 hours ahead. But
I mean, like, at what point can he start? Can he start eating? Like sunrise?
Yeah, I would assume. But
so by like 6 a.m. the next morning,
Yeah, or whenever the sun comes up, and because then that doesn't. It should be then you shouldn't feed him when the sun goes down. Yeah, you're right. It should be a time.
If that's the case, he should not eat after sundown.
Correct. It should be sun up, eat it up. Sundown, no more
eating town.
Okay, yeah, that works. So the thing is, I didn't know how to spell his name. Mogwai.
That's not his name. That's what he is.
Okay, valid. And then, but what does the grandpa call him? I thought he just called him Mogwai.
Yeah, I don't think he has a name.
Right, but then so they call him Gizmo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got vibes of this thing as like a Furby. And what did you say you had vibes of?
Grogu.
Right,
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Okay. I mean, and realistically, we're both kind of right because the bulging eyes, the ears. But this came out after Star Wars? Yeah, this is after Star Wars. Star Wars in the 70s. Like 79.
Yeah, but Yoda's not in the original Star Wars. He's in Empire. So that's 1980.
But that's still before this then. Because
Yes.
This is 84, yeah. Okay, well, it works. And I do also like to break away from Mogwai. The chess set that the grandpa was standing in front of. Was chess, correct? It looked like it. But then it was weird because in one frame where you have the sort of medium shot of the dad. Do you want to keep drinking? You want to keep drinking your drink? I know you do. So I told Mike before we started recording that we gotta stop, like, because in the previous recordings you'd hear stuff like that, and it was hard to edit that out because you could just hear it. But anyway, so Mike keeps kind of going for his drink, and
you hear me savor.
Yeah, but so in the medium shot of the dad, the chess set's one way, but then when they do the single of the grandpa, it's different. I just noticed the continuity things. I don't know what it is.
That's your second shot, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. What? I thought it'd be just disrespecting women. Okay, whatever. Fine. So.
Well, no, there's 3 things.
Okay.
Maybe there's 4. There's disrespecting the ladies. Mm-hmm. There's catching continuity flaws that no one gives a shit about.
Sure.
There is adding or bringing up math to your own detriment.
To Mike's chagrin, Brandon
I
still
love
tries to
it.
do math, so you can ridicule me, and yeah, that's fine. And then what's the fourth thing? That was only three.
I think it's only 3.
Is math should be 2.
Yeah.
Or no, I bring up like Marvel or fucking.
No, the fourth thing is you saying it sucks.
I can't
Like,
help
I have
it.
this note here. It says this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh no, I had this. Yeah, this very important note. This movie fucking sucks. I didn't feel that way towards Gremlins. So Steven Spielberg was surprising. How did that little kid, with the grandpa, like the kid that the old man was, the dad was following around randomly. How did he know the 3 rules of Gizmo?
What do you mean?
Like he let
Well, he lives. Or I don't know if he lives there, but he hangs out with his grandpa. Like his grandpa would have told him the rules.
I guess. And like the kid said that they were like desperate for money, so he gives them $200. He takes Gizmo, and then we'll just skip ahead. At the end of the movie, I don't know how the grandpa found the family, unless Gizmo has some kind of tracking device or something inside of him. But did you just notice that he just threw the money down on like the fucking couch? I like that. He's like, take your fucking.
Well, he might have just his. I was gonna say like maybe his grandson told him, but then how would the grandson?
Yeah, how would he know? Because he's a traveling like. How do you go to this small town? Which I think they said the name of it, but like, was it in Illinois? I don't know why I'm thinking Illinois. Isn't that where? Oh, that's where National Lampoons takes place. Because yeah, did you notice there was quite a few of blatant product placement?
I'm sure.
I mean, it's funny because when they did a pan around the city, that like all the businesses, they look not worn down, but the signs they look worn. And then you see Burger King, and it's like fresh, brand new. The windows look all nice, but then the building next to it's all dusty and fucking dirty. I was like, come on, Spielberg, or not Spielberg, it's The Simpsons. Come on, Spielberg, get that shit together. What kind of notes do you have? What do you have written on your?
Well,
legal
character wise, I guess it makes sense because the movie is super over the top.
Is it?
I mean,
sorry, I was sitting back. Is it?
Yes, it is. But I didn't really like. Maybe it's just at the beginning, the Mrs. Deagle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that character.
I don't know what her arc was supposed to be either, because
one, I don't know. Is she just personally lending money for the bank,
right?
And she
I didn't get that
holds sway over the town. Like that
yeah,
doesn't
and
make sense to
the
me.
woman at the beginning was like, please, like my husband and I were trying to get money, and I'm thinking, okay, so they're probably the tenants of a home that she might own, because there's the DeVille. Was it DeVille? What's her last name?
I don't know.
Because I thought that. So I originally
Miss Deagle.
Deagle, you're right. Deagle Estates. I originally wrote for her as a Cruella DeVille kind of type character, because she's like saying, I'm going to take that dog, and she just seemed like this tyrant of a woman.
That's like the over the top. Like she's more over the top than the witch in Wizard of Oz. Like she just wants to have the fucking dog put down, Toto.
Yeah.
And like arrested or taken by.
Well, really, when the dog attacked her, done right there. When he was biting at her sleeve, they're putting that dog down, straight up.
But that's the thing. Like she doesn't want to have the pound take it and fucking.
Oh yeah, she wants to kill it.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna murder that motherfucker so good.
Yeah.
Did
she say she was gonna?
I
thought I heard and the guy was like, yeah, that'll do it. Like
slow and painful death or something like that.
I thought she was saying, maybe I'm just projecting. I thought she was maybe saying putting it on the back of a truck or something like that.
What did she say? Something weird, like draw and quarter that motherfucker or something like that.
And again, like the guy that was next to her too in the bank was like, yep, that'll kill a dog.
Oh, you know
and
who that is?
Who the fuck are you?
I think that's who it is. You know who that is? Chuck Jones.
As in like
the voice
Big Bang
Bugs,
Theory?
No, the fucking.
Oh, I'm thinking Chuck Lorre. Bugs Bunny's voice?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the voice of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what he's doing.
Do you know what he looks like? Or you saw his name in the credits?
I saw his name. I was like, oh, that's him.
Okay. I'll allow it. I mean, hearing that kind of voice, which as legendary as it is, voice acting wise, I always think of like a Phil Lamar. He's been everywhere. From Mad TV, everybody. You might be too young listening to this. Maurice LaMarche. He's been around for a long time. And then the voice of Batman, the animated series. Mm-hmm. He's been around for fucking tons of years. But Cruella, or not, sorry, what was her name? Deagle. Yeah, I will admit, but I would agree that she was a little much for, I don't know what reason.
Yeah, it's just.
Like, why do you have to be this rude person, like cutting in front of everybody in line, like cash this and do this? Like,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
It just kind of like draws me out of the movie a little bit.
Sure.
Like it's so silly.
Okay.
And so like overtly evil. Like, okay, like, I mean, I don't want to say people don't exist like that in the world, but I guess they do, but it's just like, well, why are you in here like this?
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense once the movie gets going, and then you just have ridiculous.
Just gotta kill her off.
Ridiculous, silly stuff with like the gremlins. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
she gets her comeuppance.
The movie itself is over the top and silly, so at least to me, I guess it makes sense.
You keep saying over the top, and it keeps making me think of Sly Stallone's movie, which that movie sucked. But I did not like that character. But obviously, that's the point. You don't want to like her. I mean, it sucks that she's dead, and it kind of even her death was sort of even Wizard of Oz because her legs are up.
Yeah.
And then you would think Wizard of Oz is underneath like the house, and they curl in. But those cops, thinking about that really quick, those guys are fucking numbskulls. And you got what's his name from Breaking Bad? He's also the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, he's been around a long time. What's his real name? Because you obviously know who I'm talking about. But he's also in Better Call Saul.
Oh my god, no, I can't remember.
But yeah, he's the deputy, not the sheriff.
Right.
But like that's such a trope for even for that time is like the person's
Bumbling,
like, no, look here, I have this evidence, I have this, and like whatever, stupid kid. And the guy, the fake Santa is rolling around the ground with the gremlins on him. They're like, what's he doing? Well, they didn't have that kind of accent, but what's he doing? What are those things on him? And they're like at the door of the cop car, and they're like, ah. And they're like, let me just roll this up, and they just let's get out of here. I hate that when they do that in the movie, that trope of just the stupid cops or the stupid adults that won't listen. Yeah, that won't listen to the kids. Like in what's oh my gosh, with the sisters, the three sisters, the Halloween movie.
Hocus Pocus.
Thank you. Like all the adults, like whatever, kid. But I kind of get it because as a kid.
I mean, you kind of should because kids are dumb, but.
Really
I
fucking
understand
dumb.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Have you not seen that Reddit the subreddit?
Yeah.
Like, kids are fucking stupid. Oh, they're the worst. What else do you have?
That's it. That's all I got. No.
Wow.
The set itself, because I believe it's the same.
Looks like the Gilmore Girls set.
Well, I mean, a couple things. Like one, that. Two, I think it's the same.
I mean,
one
I didn't
as,
watch Gilmore Girls.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So like, kind of whenever I see it now in movies, like it's the back lot, like it's there to be used and stuff like that. But whenever I see that sort of stuff, like it feels
fake.
like I'm in a back lot.
Well, I have a note saying it's fake winter for sure.
Yeah,
because you don't see any of their breath and any of that stuff, and even the times when they're doing shots of cars, it looks like spray paint, like white spray paint on like the bottom and stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's just because I'm watching a lot of like sitcoms right now.
Yeah,
like we were just past Thanksgiving, so I have to watch Friends. But like all
no,
like well, you do.
Okay.
So like all the exterior stuff is just fake New York streets. Let you get it. And then there's like a scene when they go to like Phoebe goes to meet her dad, and it's in the neighborhood. But that neighborhood is that Gilmore Girls or Desperate Housewives, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think it filmed at Warner Brothers.
I think Gilmore Girls was what's it called?
The
but
Warner Brothers
when
one?
it comes to Desperate Housewives, that was Universal.
Okay, well, whatever. It's all the same houses. You can see
together.
them. You know exactly which ones they are. So
yeah.
So like but that's fine because it's just TV, and it's like, okay, it looks semi-fake, but it's a TV show. It's fine. I'm used to it. But now when I see it in movies, it's like, oh, it's I expect
backlot.
Marty McFly to come
Yeah.
come around the corner.
You got Doc Brown. Yeah.
Great Scott, Marty.
Yeah, I agree. And when they did that wide at the very beginning, I thought, is this a painting? Because it looked
that
looked a little matty. It
yeah.
looked a little like not real. But then obviously there was moving things. I was like, And then when they got close, that's when I realized like this isn't really winter, because that stuff was just too none of it was moving, and so it was kind of obvious. But in '84, who the fuck cares? But watching it now, you have more of an eye for these kind of things.
Yeah, I'm honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it bothers me per se, but I just notice it, so it's like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Something that I noticed that kind of bothered me, you said you didn't really, is that Gizmo and Gremlins can basically talk. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I hate that. And it makes me think of like 8-Legged Freaks, like movies where there's animals, there's creatures or whatever that shouldn't talk, but they're like, yeah, like they and Gizmo was like, Billy, like he was just saying names as I was like, too bright.
Oh, he says like bright lights, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, how do these things know? Now, obviously, they can be an intelligent being. Clearly, they are. But for them to speak English, why can't they just talk the whole time? Like, you can only say it sometimes if you're stressed out or if you get a bright light. I didn't like it. And to go ahead to it, when the Gremlins were watching a movie, they were Christmas carolers. They're all this shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Now, to be
That's
fair,
what I'm saying. The movie's over the top.
right,
It's
right.
crazy.
To be fair, I've never
Like
seen
they're
this movie.
at the bar, like
Yeah,
acting like a bunch of
and
drunk
then
buddies.
You would think that the glasses would be normal glasses, but they were smaller glasses. I was like, where do they get those? Where do they fucking get these smaller mugs? I've never seen this movie. Only number 2 I had seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I told Mike when we were eating dinner that I was like, yeah, I was anticipating these bank scenes that come up in the woman gremlin and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, that was number 2.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so I've never actually seen the origin, the gremlins, and thinking of near the ending right now. Which
Funny you say that because I believe I've seen this one,
Mm-hmm.
but growing up I watched New Batch a lot more.
Oh, that's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of these deaths for the gremlins were graphic, and I loved it. Like when the mom like fucking straight
Oh, and, like,
murdered
the
these
blender or
fucking-
whatever?
blender, the microwave. When
Microwave?
it
Oh,
pops.
yeah, that's cool.
I like that. I wrote that one down. I like that because the other one she just stabbed repeatedly.
Yeah.
And I was like, this woman has a lot of rage in her or something, but she was fucking killing it.
Yeah, she does.
She nearly took them all out.
Yeah,
It was just
she does the damn thing.
Stripe. I did not like Stripe. I thought he should have been called like Spike because he had the little mohawk. But I get it why Stripe would be the name because the mohawk. But yeah, that lady, she either has repressed rage, but I'm all about it. Like she didn't even think twice.
While she's angry at her husband for always being away.
Absentee, absentee father, she constantly have to clean up the messes that his devices make. The phone, like nothing worked.
Yeah, those bodies made a big splatter, but it's not the first mess she's cleaned up.
Tell me about it.
It's normally orange juice.
Normally orange
and
juice
coffee.
with a smidge of blood. Now it's green blood, and yeah. So I didn't like that that Gizmo and the Gremlins spoke. Obviously not fully, but enough that it was frustrating. But then at other times, so the Gremlins very fast, right? But then when they're chasing Phoebe Cates and what's his face, they're running at a normal pace, like from the movie theater. But then there's parts of the movie where it's like, and they just immediately crash through like an air vent and they're gone. Or there's the one.
I was expecting to see more like gremlin-shaped holes.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, why that would go with the movie perfectly. It's a little over the top. So did you, like, when was the last time you saw this movie?
I don't.
90s?
20 years ago. I don't know. Something like that.
So even back then, you saw it in its entirety?
Yeah.
Did you like it then?
I think so. Because, I mean, it's probably been that long since I've seen the new batch.
Okay.
And as I recall, I liked it at the time.
At the time, for sure.
Yeah.
So then what do you think about the movie now?
It's fine. It's just super duper silly. Like more
Yeah.
so than I remember.
Yeah.
But I mean that's kind of the point, I guess, right?
I mean, I
Like
guess.
it's funny, but
Yeah, there's a few scenes in there where I had a little chuckle. I
but I mean if we're talking like love it as a Christmas classic,
Oh, absolutely
I
not.
do not. No.
No. Even though this is a Christmas movie, I would not consider anything like that at all. I would consider this a comedy.
Yeah.
That obviously this isn't. It's not a Christmas movie, but that's the point of what we're doing. It's just we're doing movies that just takes place, or it either is a Christmas movie or it takes place during Christmas.
I think it has an issue that it seems like we run into all the time where it's the world seems bigger and then it kind of shrinks down a little bit. So like you have a bunch of characters like Corey Feldman's character and Judge's character, and then I guess like the
Judge was a fucking dick.
Yeah.
It's weird to see him as a dick.
But by the end, like no one matters except
We're talking about Judge Reinhold,
Yeah.
by the way.
except Billy and Kate.
Right.
Like the movie itself shrinks.
Yeah.
Like all these gremlins are taking over the town, but then they're all just in the movie theater and they get blown up, and then it's just down to the two of them.
Yeah.
So it's like the scope kind of shrinks a little bit.
Even with that movie theater blowing up, and they were, let's just say, 20 yards away, 30 yards away, they would have still been blown the fuck back.
Oh, yeah.
Like hard. And they'd have maybe first degree burns being that close. Like even though they're
Where
not.
was I? And they did an experiment. Maybe it was just at work. We were doing like a fire extinguisher training or something like that. And they have the flame, and you're like fucking like 30 feet away, and you feel the heat on your
yeah.
face. 100%.
Like even going to some bonfires. I hate the beach, mind you, everybody. I cannot stand the beach. But some friends of mine.
Sand.
Yeah, my friends of mine many years ago, before I knew Mike. Oh no, I think I knew you already. But for my birthday, which is a very kind gesture that they did this, but they had a bonfire for my birthday.
Hell yeah.
And I hated it. Now I like the idea
You're
that
a
they
little
did this.
fucking sourpuss
I like the
piece of
idea that
shit
they did this
asshole.
for me, and I was happy that they did this for me because they didn't have to. But they should have also known that I hate the beach. But I had fun there with them. hate the beach. But anyway, we had a big fucking fire.
Oh, because all those kids come by on their motorcycles and beat you up.
Yeah.
That one time.
But the bonfire that we had, huge flames. Like on a typical bonfire pit is what, like bonfire pit is like 2.5, 3 feet wide. Like it's a circle.
Okay. Maybe, yeah.
Roughly.
Sounds right.
Okay. But like our flame had to have been like
20 feet tall.
6 to 8 feet high.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what my friends put in that shit, but we
How old were you guys?
I would say I know you, or knew you at this time, so I had to been like 20. And
It's funny, I don't remember getting invited to that.
no, you didn't know a lot of my Huntington Beach friends, just because. Well, they're Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, but shout out.
Oh, your awesome, cool racist friends?
These people were not racist. They're not. Those are the people I went to high school with.
Okay.
But no, these people they're actually good people. Anthony, Alicia, Nikki. Not to just name drop all these people. Molly, Jessica.
We get it. You have friends.
Noah. Yeah, there's a bunch. Chase, Jared. Anyway, so but we were throwing. This is when. Do you remember DNL? It was 7-Up, but upside down.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, but I liked it a lot. We all actually kind of liked it. But what we were doing was if you throw in an unopened can with all the heat, it would pop. And so we're doing that shit too. And we do it, and we kind of like, and just wait for it to pop. Because when it popped, it would still splash out and hit us. And obviously very hot liquid. So we're stupid, I think is what we're saying. But it was still a lot of fun. And I really wish DNL was still a thing. So anybody from 7-Up, if you're listening, if you'd bring that back, that'd be cool, I guess.
I remember I think the last time I went to a bonfire.
It was never. So you don't have friends?
I just walked up on some random people. Like, hey guys.
Yeah. What's the hats?
What's the happy hats, y'all? Like,
Like
can we help you?
Like fucking you're
Some
wearing
guy tried to like hand me $1. Oh, no, bro. I'm cool. I'm hip. I'm with it.
I know some things. You guys like the Deftones and the Raging of Machines?
Guys like the rock and the roll.
Yeah. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children. It's the children that are out of touch.
But we're making s'mores, and I took the hanger out of the pit.
Yeah.
I think I probably just buried it in sand to try to cool it off.
Yeah.
And then some girl walked by and like stepped on it and burned the fuck out of her toe.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I felt bad.
Did she know it was you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
could've got away with it.
I manly carried her to the
Like bodyguard?
yeah.
You're kicking people out of the way?
Yeah. Over to the wash.
Yeah.
Rinse off.
So you let her put fucking seawater, ocean water all over her foot and shit? I don't actually think
and
they
wrapped
use
her
that
toe in seaweed too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not an expert. I'm pretty sure this helps.
Yeah. It's because it's from the sea, so it's salty, so it's going to clean the wound at the same time. This movie, to get back to it really quick, because as much as I would love to talk about the beach more, I would actually despise that fact. But the kid Billy didn't even get a goddamn day with this thing before he
Fucked it up.
Yeah, technically it wasn't his fault that Gizmo got wet. It was Feldman's. And actually, to break away from that a little bit, after he gets fucking Gizmo wet, and then the fucking more Gizmos come out, he goes and just jumps on Billy's bed with his goddamn shoes on, mind you.
Hey man, what's going on there? Well, all right, I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Bill, I said it's cool. Just get off my case.
I literally almost just killed your fucking new pet that speaks English somehow. I'm gonna go jump on your bed with my shoes on. Is that cool?
Also, they're like the balls are there, like kind of gyrating and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They're like, hey, what's going on with those balls? Like Gizmo's different cycle, like, like he's fucking back,
Like dying.
he's dying.
Yeah, it's popping.
They're like, you gotta check on him, see if he's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then when they're born, like those things hatch immediately. Like I'm sorry, not hatch, but they like evolve or whatever. And you got Gizmo on the side, like you would think with his reaction to
like-
seeing these,
Convulsing.
to seeing these 5 new,
balls, furry.
yeah. But to see the 5 new Gizmos,
Dead.
kill me. Oh yeah, I wish I was dead. You would think though that, oh cool, not more Gizmos. It'd be like
Mogwai. Gizmos is his name.
Mogwai is what he is. So that's
so
why
5 new Mogwai. Not
Okay,
5
well, I'm
new
going to say
Gizmos.
they look like Gizmo, okay? I'm just going to say Gizmozes. So,
Although I did like in the new batch, the ones that come out are black. So you can like determine between or distinguish
color-wise?
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You remember that?
No.
That they're still furry, but they have black fur instead of the brown. Like
Oh, so it's white and black opposed to white and
Yeah.
brown. Okay, so Gizmo would be the original with brown. Okay. How did he get Gizmo back?
what?
In number 2, if you remember? Did he steal him from
I
Grandpa?
kind of remember him. Someone must have had him because he's like, Gizmo, oh, it's been so long. He's like, Billy, or some shit. Probably, I don't know.
Save me. I don't know why he talks like a fucking alien. Help me. I'll bring you gold. But yeah, he didn't even have that damn thing a day. Corey Feldman gets him wet. And then it's funny because he realizes that those 5 Mogways were kind of fucked up. He's like, oh, they're
Like,
a
just
little
douchey.
Yeah, they're a little rambunctious, and like the one of them, Stripes spits on Gizmo, and that spit was like a orange, yellow. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's like a chewing tobacco spit.
Yeah, that was not good. But then what were they playing? Was that like a fucking arcade game they're trying to play?
Yeah.
And was one of them trying to fuck it? It seemed like it was kind of like thrusting into it. I don't know if it was just really
I don't know
excited.
about that. Maybe.
Okay.
This movie's a little out there.
Maybe I'm just a creep.
Once again, New Batch is more out there, but yeah.
I would think if they're already at a level 9, that the second one would have to be at least a 12 or 13. Because you got to go more extreme for a second one in a lot of instances.
I mean, they're drinking, they're fucking shooting guns and throwing darts. I mean,
and that's another thing. So these things are maybe as tall as our waist, roughly.
what?
Yeah, like they were
The Gremlins?
yeah,
Or the Mogwai?
the Gremlins.
Okay, the Gremlins.
Mogwai was tiny. I mean,
they're fucking.
that's
little,
like eight
teddy
to
bear
9
size.
Yeah, like 8 to 10 inches max. And then while the Gremlins were much larger. I mean, even if you think about the egg sacs that they were in or whatever for the metamorphosis, when they came out of that, okay, maybe like my thigh, like not my waist, because my waist is I'm only like 5'8", 5'9" nearly.
Well, I'm like 6'5", so
In the pants. It's wrapped around your waist as we speak. But what do you think? Like, do you think that there was a message in this movie?
I mean, I don't know. I'd read stuff like about like consumerism and shit like that, but I didn't get any of that.
I didn't really get. I saw something like that too, and I didn't really get it. I mean, granted, yes, they bought the Mogwai and like the dad's, but he's just trying to buy Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Just like in Jingle All the Way. But Jingle All the Way though at the time was like really for Turbo Man, like one specific thing. He was just looking for something for his son.
Yeah, but the dad's not desperate.
No. Well,
Like, I mean, he says like, "Oh, I need something for my son," but it's not. He's desperate and like because the Gizmo's cool and he wants Gizmo.
Yeah.
But he's not like, "Oh man, I need something for myself. Oh god, I just need something."
Yeah.
You know?
I gotta get the new Mogwai. I don't know. I just tried to do the Arnold voice. Come on, I need it. So I didn't see it though. Like when it comes to consumer, because I had saw stuff about that too prior. Because when I was searching it a couple days ago, and somebody had like a thread of Reddit. I always reference Reddit, but it just so happened that it was like near the top about this movie, and it was like from 2019 or something like that. And I kind of skimmed through it, and that's what I saw. But then watching the movie, I didn't really get that either. And now I can understand kind of where that person's coming from, but it's a stretch. It's a reach.
I mean, if anything, it would be like humans and like excess and stuff like that, right? Like that's how the Gremlins act.
Yeah, because it seems like the Gremlins are really just they're acting on the inhibitions, like they're acting on
Lack of.
Yeah, so they're just debauchery. They're drinking. They're shooting guns. They're fucking. I should now that I think about this too. Like when I think of creatures talking, I think that each one of those gremlins had their own personality, and I hated it. Like one of them was like a jazz, like he had like the low fucking the goddamn and then what was the puppet that came up? It's like and he just like fucking hits it or whatever. Like why did they?
I think he had a hammer. What did he have?
Yeah, I don't know what he had. And then there's random handguns they just have. I don't know where the fuck they're getting those, but and why did Phoebe Cates? Oh my god, this frustrated me. Unless they're holding her captive. But which I kind of now I think about it, I guess they kind of were.
Why was she serving them?
Yeah, why she's giving them beer? She's like, all right, guys, just don't do this. Like, run, bitch.
I mean, they probably came in there.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, what are they doing? And they're like,
If they came in, she wouldn't even see them. They're lower than the bar. She would have had to.
Whatever. They jumped up on the bar or whatever.
Either way, she's serving them, doing all this
debauchery ensued.
Mm-hmm. You know, all those pictures she took of them, like those could have been valuable. Because remember how they're at the end when the news, they're like, oh, just a fucking
mass chaos.
Yeah, but they never talk about the gremlins or anything. Because obviously,
he mentions like little green men.
Oh yeah, it's valid, but not like actual creatures, like monsters. Yeah. But when the last one, Stripe died, I mean that was graphic too. Like I liked it. Like when he was melting, if Indiana Jones.
It's funny. Well, if anything, it reminded me of the Hellraiser. The brother coming reanimating.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of skeletal and coming back, all the muscle and tissue and shit like that.
Hellraiser, gore porn. So, but the death of him though, of Stripe though, I did like, and like just the melting made me think of what is that? Not Temple of Doom. That was
That's Raiders.
Raiders, the first one.
The face mount.
Yeah, when they open up the box, and they all fucking die. They'll just get destroyed. Keep your eyes closed. But no, I did like that. I would say that I can see what you're talking about when it comes to Hellraiser. I can get like that kind of that vibe from that part specifically. But
Because even like the movie itself like seems super 80s like Hellraiser as well.
It's of the time. It's what
Yeah.
it's what they had. Hellraiser came out a little later than this, didn't it? Was it 87 Hellraiser came
It's
out?
probably in my notebook. I can probably skim through it, but
Yeah.
sure, whatever.
Yeah. So is there a part of this movie that you liked the most? Was there a favorite part?
Probably the bar scene's the most fun, I guess.
Oh, with Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Like where she's with all the gremlins.
Just looking at all the little things that they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
I think like my favorite is like the three guys together, like
Yeah,
singing
they're
sea
going back and
shanties
forth.
or
Yeah.
whatever, and like drinking the beers.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
If I would say a favorite part for me,
Or just any scene with
Phoebe.
Phoebe in it.
Yeah, so the bar scene. I guess that makes sense. I think my favorite part is when the dog attacked Deagle.
I just fucking hate every second that she's in it, though.
Yeah. So again, just thinking about it, it's actually frustrating because what was she? Like, what was
Yeah.
really the point? Because I think if you even take her out of the movie, right? Like, if you take her out of the
That's the
interactions
thing. Like,
with
you can take everyone out. Like, no one is important other than Billy and Kate and the dad.
yeah,
And his mom's cool, too.
yeah, she's a very. We said it kind of already, but she's a very supportive wife.
Yeah.
Like everything he's
going
has
after
been
his
doing.
dreams.
Yeah, she's like, okay, love you, and
'Cause that's the thing. Like, all that stuff, like, leads to nothing. Like, all his
does.
inventor stuff. Like, he's just away at that.
yeah.
I guess it's a cool
Which
thing to
it's-
have, like, a stupid robot
Yeah.
behind him.
Well, so
Just
speaking of
do bullshit.
speaking of that, he goes to an inventors conference or like a convention, and the first time he calls not the first time, but he's calling the wife and he's talking to her. In the background, you can see a guy with a time machine, and then it cuts to the wife and she's talking, and then it cuts back to the dad and the time machine's gone.
Oh,
and
it
the
is?
people are on the ground like, where'd he go? And I laughed so hard.
I didn't notice that.
because it's just in the background.
Yeah.
It's just there, but it looks like a time machine from the movie where Guy Pearce that was in too. Like it looked all old timey.
H.G. Wells, the time machine.
Yeah. And I fucking laughed so hard.
That's good.
And I was like, did I see? Because there's even like a burn mark, even like on the, and then there's even this part.
There was that much space in the frame? I didn't even notice that.
because he was centered. And so there's something. So him being centered over his right shoulder, there's whatever, and over his left, that's where the time machine part
okay.
was. And I
Through
think
the window of the
no, like
booth?
outside of the
Okay.
booth a little bit. And because he was saying like he's not overwhelmed, but like intimidated because these people like they're really going for it. And
They're
he has-
actually smart and they actually make good inventions.
no, and the inventions he has, nothing wrong with these. Like the juicer that's already probably made for him. I don't know why he needed to make his own. The coffee machine, I didn't know why he had to make it special. What is it? The bathroom buddy or whatever the fuck.
multi-tool,
Yeah.
essentially.
So that
It's not a terrible idea.
no, but I wouldn't use a big oafy thing like that with a razor blade
Yeah.
to like be trim myself or to have.
If you can just pull out the toothbrush and use it,
Yeah.
put it on.
If you could take it all apart and then use it again or put it back, yeah, even better. But if it's stuck to it,
Like, oh, there's weight balance in this thing.
exactly.
Like, slit your own throat.
Yeah. And you just move down. Yeah, what you got to think? What is that weight distribution for that thing? Because it looked like a brick of shame.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Plus, it has liquid in it because it has toothpaste
Yeah.
and shaving cream in it.
well, the shaving cream had this. That was the updated version of it. The original had the toothpaste. Get it right. So, besides being a supportive wife, there was a scene where the professor or teacher, whatever he was, the guy that got killed first. When he took the blood.
How old are they?
That's a good question. That teacher had to been, looking at it right now. That
Are they
professor,
in high school? No, because he works at a bank.
yeah, he's an adult. He's an adult. But that professor guy, the teacher, he was teaching like Corey Feldman. So that had to be like middle school maybe, or Feldman could have been maybe a freshman. No, he's not a freshman. He's got to be in middle school max. He's got to be like 12 in this movie.
Yeah, but if he's doing like legit experiments and stuff like that, he has to be at least a high school teacher.
Well, apparently not, because there's no way Feldman is at least 13. Because 13 is high school? Yeah. 13,
Yeah,
13 14, 15, 16, 17. But
And,
anyway,
and I'm assuming Billy was his old student or something.
exactly. I'm not going to go to a random school and be like, hey, can we be cool with each other? Because someday I might need you to do experiments on things for me. But that's random. And when the professor or teacher, whatever he is, he's eating the sandwich and he just leaves it and he takes the chips. I don't know what kind of adult or lazy person, but I would throw that out, and probably still keep the chips. Yes, because it's chips I can reseal. But a sandwich, I normally don't like. Once I try to eat it, I don't really save them. But like, who just leaves food out? Like, if I'm at home, sure, I might leave some food out for a little bit, but I'm not gonna go home for the day and then come back. I'm not gonna go to sleep and then come back the next morning. Like, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna throw it out, leave the dish maybe in the sink, and then
Well, I mean, it's just a device. So
I get
the
it. So the thing could
gremlin
eat.
so it can
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. Do you think if there was no sandwich and there was chips, do you think it would have been the same?
Yeah, it just didn't say we couldn't eat certain things. Just couldn't eat after midnight.
Or maybe it was. But is that okay? So what does this mean? Is it a bite, or do you think it's a whole like a meal?
I don't know. Who cares?
You know what, Mike? I need the answers, and
Well,
I
you're
need.
not going to find him in this movie.
Oh, definitely, not. Definitely not. Because there's so many. Okay, I would say at least in this town, 100 people died that night. At least, because you got his racist neighbors. There's the wife, the husband and wife. You have
The teacher.
Deagle. You have the teacher. You have possibly that Santa rolling around the gremlins. You have the cop and the deputy. Well, they only flipped, so they could be dead. Um, and then you see those people running around like being attacked.
Is it their guns that the gremlins steal from them?
To be fair, there was only 2 guns that I saw, so it's possible. But I would feel in their car they would have a shotty. But I don't think those gremlins have the arm length to hold a shotgun.
That would be a fun thing to see them shoot it and just go, just shot back.
Or that, or they're both using it. One's pumping the shotgun, the other one's shooting it.
Yeah.
And then when they shoot it, the one that pumps it's like still standing there while the other it gets blown back or just blows up. But a lot of gremlins died in this movie, so R.I.P. Gremlins. I didn't like the inconsistencies with that. Again, like I said, at one moment they're super fast, the next minute they're just running at a normal pace. Do you think that's because they just needed
for the bit
device? Yeah, they needed
the
that.
jokes. Yeah.
Well,
Do you remember her story for her dad of how her dad died? Oh, you said you hadn't seen it fully.
I had not. And so when she told that story, I was like,
What?
that sucks.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, so he just got stuck in a chimney? Is that what's happening?
Well, he slipped, broke his neck, and his body
In a
was
chimney?
stuck in the chimney.
Okay, so let's make sense of that real
Okay.
quick. So if he's on the roof,
So her dad was climbing down the chimney dressed as Santa.
Correct.
And was going to surprise her
Correct.
and her mom.
Correct.
With gifts. He slipped while he was in there, and
how do you break your neck like that?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I would think if he's on the roof, he slips, like hits it, and he just his body weight falls down in, so he's going down head first, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Because then if you're going down a chimney, you're probably going feet first. You're not going to go head first in something like that.
He's a madman.
So
he is.
yeah. So if you're going down feet first, and let's just say you slip, like your foot slips down, and you're going down, like think Matrix, right?
Yeah.
When they're going through the building and through the wall, and so if he's
Maybe
going
he
down,
like just hit walls on the way down.
how wide is that chimney?
I don't know, man.
But that when she did tell that story, I was very vividly paying attention because it's just her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, I'll watch her talk all day. But that story of it, that didn't make sense because
silly,
my note here says, how does a chimney break your neck? And so the only thing rational I could think of is, again, he's maybe trying to climb in, and then he hits his head on one side
Oh, maybe he like
or hits his
went.
neck.
Oh no, if he's all the way down there, then they would have seen like his legs sticking up. But maybe like he hit like the damper that's coming up and down.
Maybe.
Cut it. Cut his neck on the
Cut it
damper.
right there.
Yeah.
Break it out. I guess. But I did giggle at that when she said it, because even though it's a serious moment, well, it's, I guess, supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like,
It's once again like that. Just it matches the movie because it's so over the top. Like her like hating Christmas could have been anything. Like her dad leaving the family on Christmas Day. Like it didn't have to be him fucking.
yeah, he could just
finding his
he
fucking
could
corpse
have just
a week
skipped out.
later.
Yeah, and you would think after a couple of days you start to smell something too, because actually if it's winter, yeah, probably not.
No, she
'cause-
said she went up to it, and that's when I noticed the smell.
Oh, I didn't catch that then.
Yeah, she says that.
So I guess I was paying that that good of
She's
attention.
like, oh, it was so cold, so I went to start a fire.
Yeah.
And as I got close, that's when I first noticed the smell. And then,
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be rough.
That's rough.
That would be really rough to find your kid or your dad that
man,
way.
did you hear that? So there's a story of this guy, cave diving or whatever, and I don't know if he slips, but he gets caught head down with his feet in the air.
Underwater?
No, just in a cave.
Oh, okay.
But like stuck. And then it's like hours of like people coming and trying to get him out. They're trying to figure out how to get him up and out, and they can't quite get a hold of his body because if they hold onto his legs, they would just break his legs backwards, and then he's down there for like 2 days, and he eventually dies because all the blood rushes in, and he loses consciousness, stuff like that. So
Well, way to bring this down.
It just reminded me because it's exactly what happens to her dad. Like, gets caught in a tight space and dies.
I mean, it's what is that? 128 hours. Gets his arms.
That one too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But I mean, a fucking ways to go. Upside down in the fucking dark in a cave.
Yeah.
That's one way you don't want to do it.
I'm trying to visualize that. So if I'm in a cave and I got stuck like on a rope, how did that guy get stuck?
No, you know how, I mean, maybe you don't know, but like people go like.
Spelunking?
Sure, like just fucking cave diving and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
They go in like these tight fucking spaces. Even those like
The Descent?
Oh, that too.
That's great.
Remember the guys who, or was it like
The miners?
No, the little soccer team of the kids.
Yeah, I remember
got
that.
stuck.
Yeah.
Then it flooded.
And piece of shit fucking Tesla.
Elon, yeah.
He said the thing about the guy. Oh, I mean, he settled out of court for sure.
But one of the sections, or one of the issues with the kids.
Wait, I'm sorry. To go back on Elon real quick, I can't stand him anymore. Like, initially I was like, all right, cool, good for you, you're doing all this shit. But the stuff he's saying now, like stuff he's tweeting and other shit, I can't with that. Like,
It's very childish.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. Continue.
One of the issues with like the sections that they were going to have to get the kids out. That's why they had to sedate them in order to get them out. Because there's a section of that cave that was so tight.
Yeah.
That
I think I read something
wear
about
the
that.
gear. They had to push their gear through first and then swim out. So
yeah.
when they do
they'd probably
caves,
freak out.
Yeah, they
panic.
100% you would freak out.
Yeah. So they had to sedate them, put them in a mask, and then so they could push their gear through it, and they'd pull them through or whatever. Even if I was conscious and I was
Cave or
experienced,
chimneys, don't go into tight spaces.
if you're Phoebe Cates' dad,
Yeah.
don't go into these places. Don't do anything good for your kids. Don't try to.
Don't impress people.
Yeah, don't go above and beyond for your kids. Just do the bare minimum to get by.
Did it catch you off guard? I mean, obviously it caught you off guard a little bit, but
No, I thought she was just going to say she's like a Jehovah's Witness or something, like someone that just doesn't celebrate Christmas. But then to hear that story, it's kind of like, all right, a traumatic experience happened, so I get it. But I don't want to take the joy out of everybody else because she was immediately shutting everything he said down, but I get it because she
seems like a bummer.
Yeah,
when they go on
when
the
she
first
was
walk.
saying that shit, when she was saying that, I was starting to write my note. I erased it, but I started writing my note like, "What the fuck is this bitch?" But like, because again, any little thing about Christmas that he'd bring up, she's like, "No," or just very short with him. So I don't appreciate
You at the
that.
beach though,
And so that's what I'm saying.
but you're cool enough to keep it like.
Yeah,
on
I
the
enjoyed it.
lowdown.
I had
You're not gonna be
fun.
like, guys, I'm just gonna leave. You kind of waste your time because I hate the beach. Deuces.
Yeah,
you wouldn't do that.
Well, first of all, I didn't drive at that time, so they drove me. So what am I going to go sit in the fucking?
$29 takes y'all those straight up beach.
It
Boulevard,
absolutely
bro.
does.
Come on, son.
I took it all the time. Trust me, I knew Willoware. Shit. What was that in The Wire? They had that one scene where they just kept saying shit for like fucking 5 minutes. And they found out that the girl was murdered and she wasn't. There's multiple shooters. Or no, was it multiple shooters?
I don't remember.
Okay. Now I just want to watch The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Watch McNulty and. What was his partner's name? I want to say.
Buck? No. Bunt.
Bugs?
Bunt.
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 I don't like it.
Bunt.
But I thought it was Bug.
Bug.
I think it was Bug. You know who I do really miss because he just recently passed away was Omar.
Bunk.
I think Bunk. Okay, Bunk. Yeah, but Omar passed away
Michael
recently.
K.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, he was good. He was in Community for a little bit too. Fuck, I love Community. He's so good. Anyway, do you have any additional notes about this movie about Gremlins?
Nah, that's pretty much it. Racist.
Yeah.
Kate's a bummer.
Yeah, let's do a recap. Racism. Steven Spielberg.
Well, it's in that regard, it seems almost uneven. Like, because she's such a bummer. The way her dad died was a bummer.
Right.
Mrs. Deagle's such a bummer. Like,
She's not a bummer. She's a fucking
just
bitch.
over the top
Cunt.
evil.
Yeah.
But like, it's like legit, like just stupid over the top. Like, oh, you want to fucking cut the arms off a dog and beat it to death with it, or whatever the fuck she says.
You're gonna be a rude bitch and just cut in front of all these people for no fucking reason.
Yeah. But it's juxtaposed with like just super silly gremlin stuff. So it's
Yeah. Again, and so much unwanted death. Like it's.
that doesn't bother me. It's a movie. It's
Oh, so you're okay with murder? Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down. Let's not hang out with you as much, but
not all murders. Most murders.
Okay.
I'm okay with.
so like all these potentially innocent, family-loving people dead. They had it coming. They shouldn't have lived there. It's their own fault. I mean, if you had to pick one out of all the deaths we saw, which one was the worst to you? As in, like the.
Oh, it's the microwave gremlin.
No, I don't mean like let's just say people.
Oh.
Think it'd be the tractor.
Yeah, tractor.
Yeah,
100%.
just crushing them or whatever, like plunge. Because it would be that to me, or the Gremlins on the Santa. Because if he's, he has to tackle, he has to wrestle around them, and they're just biting him or scratching him or pulling away at him. I mean, you're feeling all that shit. That's gotta be tough. And Billy getting shot in the arm with a fucking dart. Was that a dart?
No, it's a crossbow.
A dart, or a bow? Oh, not a bow, arrow.
Arrow.
Could still be a fucking. But that. Did he
He's
just
kind of a wuss. Like
he's a fucking straight pussy. He is an
He's
absolute
getting hit
pussy.
by like fucking wiffle balls.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it? Those balls have holes in them, so they're going slower. Was it in I think it was Mystery Science Theater 3000, or they had the episode of The Last Sacrifice, and the little kid in the movie. He went to go move he was turning a page of a book.
Sorry,
he was turning a page of a book, and they went. And I do remember laughing so hard at that because it always made him seem like such a fucking pussy in that movie. What was it? Roused Hour was the name of those fucking Canadians.
Oh, that was the best.
So Gremlins, final verdict of this movie, Michael. Did you enjoy this movie watching it now as a mid-30s man?
Man. It's okay. It's super silly though. Like I can't see me like putting it on.
Like, hey guys, let's watch Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Out of the two movies,
I mean, I'd rather just watch, man, even like Jingle All the Way, I might even rather, and I didn't really like that.
I was going to say, out of the three movies, I know you'd choose The Holiday.
Yeah.
Out of those, the three we just reviewed. But once we review National Lampoons and we're supposed to choose them all, I'll say it now. I'll choose National Lampoons over all these. I mean, I love Jingle All the Way, I do. But National Lampoons would probably...
Yeah, I like it. Once again, I haven't seen that in a while too, but yeah, that's probably number one too.
Yeah.
But opinions have changed quite a few times on this show already.
Yeah, because you didn't like The Nice Guys. You liked it, and then now you don't like it as much, I believe is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the movie's fucking great. Like, I thought it was great the first time, thought it was great the second time. And Ryan Gosling saves that whole movie. Not saves, but like makes that whole movie. Yeah. But I enjoyed Gremlins to an extent, because I would absolutely agree that it was over the top. I would say it's enjoyable, again, to an extent. The dad, though...
Although I do kind of, like I said, I watched the new batch so many more times. So it's just in my memory more. So maybe I would enjoy that more.
Well, the thing... though,
I would still enjoy that one more.
What I was going to say about this first movie is it just ends. Like, the guy's walking down the street and it's like, all right, friends, that's my story and ta-ta. And
isn't that kind of like a lame... device too,
yeah.
like the
voiceover,
like
the voiceover only at the beginning,
literally,
and then only at the end, and it's
Let
not
me
even
tell
about
you
the
guys
dad.
A tale,
yeah,
that I wasn't there for fucking 90%.
I didn't know any of this, so I'm getting this
all these
secondhand
details,
from my kid and my wife, and I gotta believe them, right? He never saw those fucking Gremlins, so I don't
Phoebe
like it.
Cates just never existed. Like his son just told him that
no,
cute girl was there.
Yeah, what if she existed, but it was never like the way it is? Like, yeah, she's basically my girlfriend now, Dad. And then they meet her. She's like, get the fuck away from me, you creep. Like, ooh. But
also, I'm sorry. Is it who owned that bar? Her mom or something?
I have
She's
no idea.
not getting paid.
I thought she was just. Ooh, I don't know. I remember her saying that, and fucking Judge Reinhold like, you're doing it for free. What the fuck? Now I get it. Money is a lot of evil to it. You need it to do a lot of things. But Judge Reinhold, he's like, I'm an assistant at 23.
Of the movie too, like greed and stuff like that.
Greed for sure. Greed's fine.
So minuscule, like a little bit of the banks at the beginning.
Yeah.
A little bit of the dad saying like, "Ooh, every kid all over the country would want one of these."
Yeah.
But it, like just a dusting of that, like it barely scratches the surface.
Sure. And I said this earlier. It is weird to see Reinhold in like a mean kind of role. Because you usually see him as like the, hey, I am, shit, what was his name in Beverly Hills Cop?
Oh, I don't remember.
Fuck.
It's Eddie Murphy. That's what
there it is, okay. I can't do it anymore.
that wasn't too bad.
Well, I can do it. Here it gets. That's Ricky Ricardo.
I mean, we can make that step 4 of the Brandon Juki game.
Oh,
us doing terrible impressions.
Celebrity
impressions.
When I was editing the fucking Jingle All the Way episode, I thought we did more Arnold voice. And we didn't, and I'm disappointed in us because there was not enough of.
There was a tasteful amount of Arnold.
Yeah, I thought about it'd be fun if we did this episode and I was just doing Arnold the whole time, but I think it would hurt my throat. Like, so we saw Gremlins and it was the Mogwai. It was the
You tried to laugh.
So my normal laugh is, very it's joyous, it's childlike. And then when I do my Arnold, it's just come on. And I always resort to the come on. Like I always resort to fucking Predator. Do it, come on, I'm here. But this movie was enjoyable. I got teary-eyed doing Arnold's voice. Maybe I'll do a British voice in the next episode. The whole thing. Like, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Specrapular.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Starring one Chevy Chase and also a young Juliette Lewis, a young Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and what's the guy's name in Big Bang Theory and Roseanne? And he was the young boy.
Jonathan Galecki.
There we go.
Why am I doing a stupid accent? What the fuck?
But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to Chris Wallace, I'm assuming.
Who the fuck is that?
That's the guy that apparently created and puppeteered and did all the Gremlins.
Why are we shouting this guy out? Is he giving us any kind of money?
I'm just saying,
I might as well give a shout out to my mom, who's never going to fucking hear this either.
How many puppets did she man?
You know how she manned? She manned I got nothing. Okay, so what's his name again? Chris what? Wallace?
Well, I mean, it's Walas.
Yeah.
Wallace.
Wallace. It has to be Wallace. There's no way. Wallace. If it's anything different, that's fucked up. So that was Gremlins. The next episode, we are doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is a favorite of mine. I haven't seen it in many years. Well, I did watch it because I thought we were going to do the National Lampoons tonight as well, but we are not. So, Mike, why don't you... Oh, I'm sorry. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is available on HBO Max, just like Gremlins was. And as far as I know, it's not available on anything else, either one of these movies. So hopefully you have that subscription. So, Mike, why don't you take us away in the theme of your choice? But you have to say spectacular.
Oh, God. Okay. Specrapular. It's the show you like to hear, but you mustn't hear